Hey there, garden fans, and welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. In today's episode, we're doing wild edibles. I wanted to show you how far my wild edibles have come this season. I'm going to leave a link in the top here and also in the description to take you back to the first wild edible update I did. That way you can go ahead and see the progress of the wild edibles here on this homestead. If wild edibles aren't a part of your permaculture growing strategy, I highly suggest you look into them. I'm going to be including the scientific name in the lower portion of the screen, just so you can do some more research. But at the beginning of the year, we had a lot of wild strawberries. These are mock strawberries, and so far they've done great all year. They've thrown out a lot of runners, and they are still flowering and producing long after my cultivated ones have stopped. Next wild edible I want to hit on is our sumac, and this is a winged sumac variety. They are currently flowering and putting up their drupes for the winter season. The Indians made sumac aid with these, and they also ground down the seed heads for a spice. I've got a nice little hedge here of this sumac. It's done a great job to break up the soil. We did lose a couple flower heads from our storm, kind of just broke them off, but I will consider that self-pruning for next year. Next wild edible I want to touch on is the beautyberry. And this is a Mexican beautyberry I got growing. It's got all types of companions like Jerusalem artichoke and bee balm with it. But the fruit on the Mexican beautyberry is coming in right now, and it tastes really good. A little bit different than the American beautyberry, Americana calocarpus. This particular fruit is a little bit sweeter, and they're used for making jams and jellies. To be honest, not a handful of these berries generally makes it into the house. I kind of snack on these things as I'm working around the homestead. Gonna quickly highlight the elderberry. Elderberry's doing good. It is a wild edible. We pruned it to about 4 feet and they've already come back vigorously. Elderberry makes a great windbreak. It has antiviral properties, and you can make jellies, jams, and syrups with the berries. The last wild edible I want to talk about is one I talk about a lot. I've got a lot of videos on passion fruit. I love the passion fruit. It's a real hardy edible here in Zone 8. It grows in the poorest of soils, and I can abuse these things as much as I can, and they always seem to keep coming back. The passion fruit is most often employed to relieve anxiety and nervousness, and as a sleep aid. Its use in this particular respect is confirmed by clinical trials. Basically, the leaves and stems have been dried, chopped down, used in a tea, and that has sedative quality. Today, I want to show you though how I make a passion fruit juice with just a few things: a knife, a blender, and a filter. The passion fruits themselves are really tasty. They have a pineapple guava taste to them. The edible portion on the inside is actually the gelatinous goo around each and every seed. Kind of looks like fish eggs, to be honest, but they taste really tropical. Very, once again, pineapple-ish kind of taste to them. And all I'm going to do is squeeze the pulp out of the middle of each of these passion fruit, and we'll end up blending them down to try to break up that goo off of the seed. I'm just doing a small batch here, so once I get about a cup of the gelatinous goo squeezed out, I'm going to go ahead and add probably about half a cup of water. I do like a nice 2-to-1 when it comes to the goo and water mix. I'll then just blend it on the lowest setting. I really just want to separate the gelatinous goo from the seed, and you'll start to see that happen the more you pulse the blender. Also, by pulsing it like this, I'm able to save the seeds whole and sell them and use them for a future season. Filtering it's pretty easy. I got a pretty wide mouth filter here, and I just want to keep the seeds separate from the juice. Tastes really good, and generally I will drink it whole, or I will add it to an orange juice mix. That's it for today. I appreciate you all watching. Please like, share, and subscribe as always, and God bless.
Perfect.